Okay, what's up? Going to be talking a little bit about basic stun positioning and classic levels today. So to start off, the general classic level setups, you do just run double buffs up front with a carry in the middle, right? This carry can be something such as a Kevin. This carry can be something such as a Slime King. This carry can even be something such as an Infernus, right? Whatever carry you get, you run it up here. And then, of course, you always put your stuns in the middle, right? Your stuns don't need to be this good. These are probably a few of the strongest stunners you can get access to pretty easily in the classic levels, right? Or more easily compared to something such as mythics. But other stuns you can use, of course, are like Fury, Sparky, Teddy here. Just place your main stuns in the middle. This is so that you can delay enemies while giving your carry a chance to deal with them, right? Because all of your gold is going to be going into the front line here, which means that your front line is going to be your main and only source of damage. And so you are very dependent on keeping units over here in the front line, whether it is something like an Infernus. Of course, less dependent if you use something like a Slime King, because Slime King does have that full map range. But it's a similar sort of situation with something such as a Kevin, right? This pre-JR normal stage of the game, where you are just going to be putting stuns in mid to support the carry up front that you've placed all your gold into. And that's, generally, for most of the classic level setups, you do always want stuns in the middle, right? There are some variations in this, of course. Let's say you get access to Anubis. Let's say you get access to, maybe something such as a Horus Speedy, and then you can split your stuns and whatever. But this is like the basic stun idea. Get 3 stuns in the middle, and then put your main stuns in the middle here to delay enemies for your carry up front to deal with. And of course, in the backline here, a little bit more dependent, right? I'd recommend putting global damage because, as I said before, very dependent on the front line. If it gets out of the range of your frontline carry, you're probably done for anyways. In which case, you just put backline support that is able to affect the whole map, right? Susanu's good, Felina's strong, something like Crispy strong as well. You don't need them to be at super high levels, but it's better than just having stuns back here as well, who are not really going to be doing any damage. And at that point, you're probably going to lose the level anyways because the enemy did slip past your front line, right? I'd say, a situation where having stuns in the back here could be pretty solid is when you do have secondary damage, right? Let's say you beat JR normal, you have a Kevin that was leveled up a little bit, but now you want to look to level up your Slime King, and now your Slime King is maybe like even level with your Kevin. You could use Kevin as secondary damage, right? So I'd say, maybe put Kevin in the backline here, and then add 2 stuns to support that Kevin, right? So that Kevin can finish off enemies that Slime King wasn't able to finish off. Again, not the best example because Slime King does full map damage, but you get the idea that putting stuns in the back here could be good to support a secondary damage dealer. In addition to the main double buff damage dealer up front here, right? Another sort of a stun variation I'd say that is pretty common, the second one I'm going to be talking about in this video today, is going to be when you do use a global damage backline carry, right? This can be something such as a Felina, it can be something such as a Slime King, it could even be something such as an Amaterasu, or maybe even a Jiraiya if you're willing to do that. But if you are using this sort of global damage carry in the back row here, you just want to fill up the, in most situations, again, there are variations with Anubis and stuff, and, if you do get a Horus and a Speedy, all that sort of stuff, but the main idea is to put stuns in both the front and the middle row, right? This is going to be the best way to run your setup from here, just so you can maximize the time where enemies can get hit by the backline global carry's damage, and that way you are allowing your carry to do more damage, whereas with the previous setups before, after they get past that front and mid row, your carry can't really do damage unless they have global ability. But if they have global ability, you could also just use it in this sort of setup where they can make a little bit more value of it sometimes because you do have more stuns to maximize the enemy duration on the map, right? Your setups could look something such as this, right? Where you do have stuns filled up in the middle and the front row to stall for your backline to be able to do damage, right? Again, you don't need to just use a Felina. It can be something like Slime King. If you do want to run your JR Heart setup like that, it could also be something like Amaterasu. If you do have Amaterasu, maybe this could be a good setup for Nightmare levels. This is sort of the setup I use for Nightmare levels. But yeah, that's pretty much the main 2 formations of stun positioning in the classic levels, right? It depends on where your carries and double buffs are placed, but generally you always want stuns in the mid row, sometimes stuns in the back row, and if you of course are using a back row carry, put your stuns in the front row, right? Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Just wanted to talk a little bit about very basic stun positioning. This could be like a brand new players or like super beginner sort of guide, because there are a lot of variations in this based on units you get, right? Let's say you do get global stuns. Let's say you want to use Slime King as a global stun in the Nightmare levels. That could change the setup. Let's say you have a non-evolved Archimedes you want to use. let's say you do have utilities such as Susanoo, or utilities such as Anubis, or utilities such as Ra. They could all change up the setups here, but this is just the bare minimum sort of what's it called, like canvas formation. I'm not sure if that's the best word, but you just start off with your stun formations like this. That's gonna be it for this video. Like, subscribe, and yeah, see ya.